Hello and welcome to our segment with Dr. Vickers, Superintendent of Alabaster City Schools. We are so excited to have you here. I love just getting together periodically and letting you give us an update because I can't imagine what all's in that brain up there, Dr. Vickers. You have a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in Alabaster City Schools, and first of all, just so thankful that here we are at Thanksgiving, and we have so many great things that are happening across our system. We have just finished up with our Veterans Day programs. I'm so proud of every school having a veterans program. And it's the first time since the pandemic a lot of our parents and grandparents were able to come into school. So all of those programs are wonderful, and we are certainly thankful for all of our veterans. And then capping that off toward the end of the month with Thanksgiving lunches and a parent being able to come in, and we did that at every school, and we had so many reservations that we had to double the amount of time that we spent doing that. So, getting back to normal, which is part of what we have been striving for as a community, as a school system, and as a nation, that we have to move back to the normal operations of our life. And seeing all of those happy parents and grandparents coming in and eating and participating in programs is just a joy for all of us.
And it is a joy for us as well, having our first fall festival since the pandemic, the Thanksgiving lunches, the programs. It's so wonderful. Even more to come as the holiday season approaches. And we are just so excited. I want you to start us off by telling us about how our school system did on the state report card. Tell us about the state report card first.
Well, and that's true. The state report card, this is something that was put in law a few years ago. Now, they did suspend it during the pandemic. Our last report card grade came out in 2019.
Okay.
And what they do is they look at your system is graded on a variety of things: achievement, growth, which is something we're very concerned about as a school system, but also other things, chronic absenteeism. That's the reason we enforce everyone being at school, because once you reach a certain amount of days, that's a ding on our report card. Also, we have a variety of other things that go into play: college and career readiness, other indicators that we have in there, graduation rate, and all of those things are put in place, and they're given percentages. So for us, as a large system, we're 6,300 students. It's a pretty tough score to go and look at all of those things. But the one thing I'm proud of is that we were very concerned in 2019. We had our first A as a system, and keeping that A during the pandemic was part of our discussion with parents and everyone about, why we stayed in school, why we did things academically. And each school has their own little divisor. K3 or Meadowview Creekview are judged a little differently than TIS, TMS, and the high school. They all have different components, but you'll find a theme of those things: achievement, growth, also different indicators, chronic absenteeism. That's a big deal, and at the high school level, we have college and career readiness and graduation rate that are very important. So all of those things go into play, and I'm very excited to announce that again, Alabaster City Schools was ranked at A on the state report card.
That's awesome.
So even during the pandemic, during all of the chaos of the past 2.5 years, I want to brag on our teachers and our administrators and our community and our citizens for staying in tune and working hard, because we were able to maintain that A. So we were we were the only A system in Shelby County.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, Dr. Vickers. I love that.
Well, I'm very excited because that just shows the work and the investment that happens every day in our classroom.
You're right.
And I will go through. If you look at our two elementary schools, we have Creekview and Meadowview. They're K3 schools. So half of our city goes to Creekview, the other half goes to Meadowview. Well, they're both A's. So
awesome.
you don't have to worry. Meadowview's a 95, Creekview's a 92. This was Meadowview's first A on the report card.
Okay.
This was their first A on the report card. They've been very close the past couple of years. Creekview maintained their A. So, how wonderful as a superintendent to be able to have both of your K3 schools earn an A on the report card. And so we're very proud of them. Matter of fact, we just completed a celebration at Creekview yesterday at their faculty meeting where we gave them a cake and went in and bragged on them for the academic work. We did it at Meadowview a couple of weeks ago. And those things are important because they need to hear from the superintendent, the chief academic officer, and others that, hey, we're proud of it.
Yeah.
We know this is work. And there's not anything more important than that classroom teacher. And what happens when that door shuts is the most important thing in the world. And so we're very excited about that. Thompson Intermediate School, Thompson Middle School, and Thompson High School all received B's. So they did very well. That's the group that had the most difficulty with the pandemic would be your middle school, high school students because there's so many distractions. It's with elementary, most parents were like, okay, I've got to get them in here. We've got to do our work. We've got to do this. A little more resilient, right? And I said, but at the middle and high school, there's just so many other distractions, and that's not an excuse. It's a reality.
Absolutely.
And I have a son that's in college, and I understand, that this is a big distraction. So when, keeping our kids moving and working and doing things, they had to get readjusted to the rigorous part of that work that we need. And remember, and I want to tell everyone, Thompson High School is judged based on ACT. Every child in the junior class, all 540 of them, have to take that ACT. Now, back in my day, only students going to college were taking the ACT.
Right.
Every child takes that ACT. And I want people to know that we're very proud of the work that we're doing now. May hear some complaints, from parents at the middle and high school. Oh, things are tough. We've got, But what we're trying to do is let them know we don't want to be a barrier to a child having a future that they want.
Right.
When they take that ACT, they need to understand that's a gateway to whatever they want to do. So we've got to prepare them, and we've done a very rigorous ACT prep this year. We've sent home information to parents, and we don't want them to be surprised that junior year. It's almost too late then to start working. But as a freshman parent, when they see their grades, okay, well they've got an 85 in algebra. They got an 85 in geometry. Well, we need to beef that up because the ACT is heavy in those areas. So we want our parents to be engaged and understand that, success only comes before work in the dictionary.
Yeah.
And the work has to be put in there. It has to be rigorous. And, one thing that I learned very early in my son's career at Thompson is that sometimes the best thing that ever happened was a B89.
Right.
That was a wonderful opportunity for me to sit down and say, you didn't do the work that you needed to do to earn that A. And this is really where you are. So we need to work now and get you where you need to be, because in the end, that ACT score and that GPA, it gave them motivation. And we've got to learn to motivate our students and work with our teachers and reach out. The day after the report card goes out, it's not the time to talk about grades. We have access with iNow. Parents can find out daily how their students are doing, and reach out early and start that dialogue, because that's what's going to change things. And I feel very good about where the middle school and high school are going to be this next year on the report card. I'm just very excited. The work, the attitude, the adjustments that I'm seeing are going to be very exciting. And also wanted to throw out there that that we have it on our website, so you can dig down if you want to know more information about our report card. And also our niche rankings came out. We're ranked the best public school system in Shelby County based on niche. And we appreciate that. And we're the number 12 district overall in the state out of 139, which I think is pretty neat in itself. And it shows the work and the progress that's been made over the past 10 years as a school system. So, but very excited about our report card grades. Very excited about all of our 5 schools. And I want to thank the parents and the students, because it's that commitment to being a champion that we want. That's our tagline, and we mean it in all areas.
I really appreciate that information. It gives us as parents a little background about what's going on, why we are putting in this work, and why it is so important to the success of our students. So thank you for that info. Let's go into, that was fun information, but this is really fun. Our Thompson Warriors are going to the championship, right? Again.
This is 5 straight championships. And this one is, a lot of people, it's before the pandemic when we were playing in Auburn for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So it's a little longer journey. Mm-hmm. And I want to let everyone know we'll be sending out a letter that basically outlines the early dismissal. It's a longer drive and the late start the next day, because we want our community. We want this to be a community event.
Absolutely.
We want everyone to be comfortable driving down there and cheering their neighbors on, cheering their friends, and we want everyone to have that opportunity. And I want everyone to understand it's a very difficult task. We have 200 plus band members. Mm-hmm. We have 100 and probably 30 or 40 football players. We have 40-something cheerleaders. When you take a lot of those moms and dads work in our school system, they're bus drivers, they're teachers, and we start trying to staff on those 2 days, if we didn't do some type of early dismissal and late start, then we might not be able to staff the schools those days. And so it's a reality for everyone. So it's just the same. We'll probably do it's probably about a 3.5 hour early dismissal the day of the game, and a 3 hour delayed start when we return. And I encourage everyone in Alabaster. The last time we played in Auburn, we played Central Phoenix City. And Central Phoenix City is about a 30-minute drive. We had more Alabaster residents, Thompson fans there, than Central did. And this is Auburn High School we're playing this year. So it's very exciting.
So we really got to pack those stands.
We got to pack the stands. Okay. It's a home game for them.
Okay.
So we've got to do our part, and that's why we're setting this up. But the other thing I want people to know, I'm very proud of our coaching staff and our players and the entire Thompson family. This year, we started off with a few losses, and I think some people lost faith along the way. Some people just kind of had some concerns. And I want to tell you something. When you're dealing with young players and you're dealing with 15, 16-year-old high school kids, to see the way they won this year and the way they grew as a team, it just makes me so proud of our coaching staff. Makes me very proud of what Coach Freeman's done, and to see those young men grow and be able to play for another championship is exciting. And the regular season's over, the playoffs, we're down to the final game, and that's what we're focusing on. Playing next week in Auburn for the 5th time in the state championship game, and the possibility of winning the next championship. So I'm excited for our community. I'm excited from where we've come from over the past 10 years. What I can tell you is that we will continue to bring forth championship-type programs for everything that we do, whether it's the athletics, academics, or the arts. It doesn't matter to me what we're competing in. We're going to compete and give our student body and the students of this community a chance to compete at high levels and be successful. And that's the approach we're going to take as we go to Auburn again and defend our state championship.
I love it. So make sure you pay attention to the letter coming home. Make plans, prepare, and let's pack those stands out and hope for another victory for our Warriors, right?
Yes.
Now, Dr. Vickers, the last time that we spoke earlier, beginning of the school year, we talked about some renovations and safety things that were going on within our schools. Can you give us an update?
Yes, and this is another exciting piece. Of course, as you know, this Strategic Crisis Alert has been very popular and has been something that's been, a lot of other systems are trying to get in place right now. We've had it operational in our school system for almost a year and a half now. So we're very excited about that. But the HALO system, as you know, vaping is almost an epidemic in adults and youth, and there's so many concerns with that we don't even know about. And I think that last time I announced that we had our vape detectors at our high school. We completed our renovations of the restrooms at the former Thompson High School, which was Thompson Middle School. So those vape HALO detectors are going in place.
Nice.
They serve two purposes. They can detect vape, but also it has a noise detection in there. So if there's a scuffle or there's a loud outbreak, we know and we get alerts to our phone.
Okay.
So it helps us in that safety area too. So when we're looking at really trying to impact, we're trying to give our students a deterrent. And parents, we need your help in this. We need, when vape first came out, the vaping and the electric cigarettes and all that stuff, it was kind of a scheme to make people think, well, at least it's not cigarettes, at least it's not this. If you look at the ingredients in that vape, you need to help us treat it. It's worse than cigarettes. We need to be as aggressive to stop it as we did stopping youth smoking. We need to be aggressive. We need to be all in tune together. That we've got to get our kids the help they need, because if they're on this, it is highly, it's just something they're addicted to.
Yeah.
And it has twice the nicotine, sometimes 5 times the nicotine in that vape. And we have to realize that the same thing that got people with cigarettes, that vape is getting them hooked on that. So we've got to stop it. We've got to help. It's not necessarily a finger pointing thing. It is a let's get together and let's solve this problem. We did it before with cigarettes. You almost saw that disappear from youth. And I think that we have the opportunity as families and communities and churches and schools that we can send that message.
Yeah.
And help get that. But they'll be in the middle school. Hopefully, will be operational in some point in the spring.
That's awesome.
If not sooner. So we'll start that detection and getting the message across. As you know, we've worked closely with the fire department, police department. They're great partners in our community. We have an additional resource officer. So we have 2 at the middle school, 2 at the high school. So there's just so many great things that our community does as far as safety.
Absolutely. And my goodness, this is just a small portion of things going on, I know, but it gives us so much insight as parents and as residents of the city to kind of get a little inside info. So I really appreciate you coming out. Anything else you want to leave
our parents
with?
Well, I just want to say, hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy your 5-day break, and just appreciate the kind words and the support that we get from our community. And that's something that I love about our city of Alabaster and the Alabaster City Schools, is we're a big family. And so we appreciate, hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you make plans to attend the championship game in Auburn to cheer our Warriors on for defending our championship.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr.
Okay,
Vickers.
thank you.